how's it going? Thanks so much for tuning in. For today's video, I'm proud to present an up-close and personal, in-depth look with the new 2016 Ram Rebel. Big thanks and shout out to North Point Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram located in Winston-Salem, North Carolina for allowing us to use this example today. For more information about the dealership and current inventory, please feel free to check out their website provided in the description box below. As always, this is going to be a detailed, in-depth review of the Rebel. We'll start it up, show the engine, get an exhaust clip, go over the performance data, take it on a thorough road test, and show you many of the unique aspects of both the interior as well as exterior. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop on in, start it up, let it run. The Rebel features a smart key entry system on the driver and passenger doors. As long as you have the key fob on you, you can lock it by the black button or unlock it by just grabbing the handle. There's a touch sensor located behind it. Our tester is finished in brilliant black crystal pearl coat paired to a Rebel specific combination of black and radar red technical grain vinyl seats with durable Sedoso fabric inserts. We'll discuss all of the Rebel's unique interior appointments later on in the video. To start, all you have to do is just make sure you have the key fob within the interior, put your foot on the brake, then hit the dash mounted button to go. The Ram 1500 uses electrically assisted rack and pinion steering, while heavy-duty models continue forth with traditional hydraulic systems. First introduced to the 1500 back in 2013, EPS or electric power steering offers a number of benefits in drivability and efficiency. It uses an electric motor to power the steering rack, which frees up the engine from having to work a belt-driven hydraulic pump. Ram claims the change boosts fuel economy by 1.8% while unlocking 5 additional horsepower. Component complexity is also reduced since you no longer have a need for a pump, high-pressure hydraulic hoses, or a cooling apparatus. The steering feels nice, not too stiff but not too light, making the truck very easy to drive. We'll discuss more driving impressions later in the video, but I didn't notice any significant differences between the competition, which have also adopted EPS. For the Rebel, the 4-spoke steering wheel is wrapped in leather, perforations above 3 and 9, and features subtle chrome detailing around the multifunction controls. Unique red stitching makes for a cool contrast to match all of the radar red interior elements specific to the Rebel. The Rebel's TorqueFlite 8-speed automatic, designed in collaboration with ZF, was also introduced to the Ram 1500 back in 2013. V8 models use the 8 HP 70 gearbox that we've covered in numerous videos already. It's a fantastic transmission with seamless shifts that are very responsive, whether it be acceleration from a standstill or kickdowns at higher speeds. In addition to delivering superior performance, making it a much more well-rounded vehicle to drive, it also boosted fuel economy over the previous 6-speed automatic. Since the 8 HP 70 is controlled electronically, Ram decided to use a rotary dial to select gears, similar to what you'd find in Jaguar Land Rover products. It features a knurled aluminum knob that feels great to the touch. It's easy to use even if you're wearing gloves. Simply hold the brake and twist the dial right or left. There's a lot of feedback dialed in there as well, so you can easily do it without looking at it. By placing the dial in the dash, it also eliminated the need for a column shifter and ensured the center console retained good storage space. Underneath are the controls for the available 4-wheel drive system and 2-speed transfer case. Gears can be selected manually in a way by 2 buttons on the right-hand spoke of the steering wheel. While they do offer a form of up and down shifting, their primary function is to set the highest gear you wish the Ram to use. Therefore, if you set the button to 4, that means the truck will only use gears 1 through 4, especially helpful on steep grades. A backup camera is an option. If equipped, it'll show up on the infotainment system when placed in reverse. There's a couple different axle ratios available, but we'll cover those fine details and more as we go through the video. So let's go ahead and flip on the LED accented automatic bifunction projector headlamps, LED fog lamps, and the hazards. Both front windows are fully automatic. Now let's go ahead and check out the exterior. Upon closing the door, the interior will start to chime to let you know it's lost detection of the proximity key fob. The Rebel is a new off-road themed model that was introduced to the Ram 1500 lineup last year. Comparisons to Ford's SVT Raptor are inevitable as the two are notably more aggressive and rugged looking than their common stablemates. The important thing to know is that despite outwardly appearances, the two trucks are on two completely different missions. The Raptor is far more extreme in its off-road ability with specially developed suspension, flared bodywork, and a beefier chassis. An all-new Raptor is set to launch for 2017. The Rebel, on the other hand, is a pretty awesome styling package for the most part that features larger tires, increased ride height, aggressive styling, and an exclusive fully adjustable 4-corner air suspension. The rest of the major hardware and body panels for the most part are shared with other Rams. One of the most notable changes is the front grille, which departs from the classic crosshair design. Regardless of which color you choose, the Rebel's trim is blacked out wherever possible, including the grille. It's highlighted by billet silver Ram lettering. Currently, the only other trim that uses a similar version of this grille is the new Ram Limited, albeit with a lot more chrome. The others continue with the crosshair grille. Below, a powder-coated solid steel off-road bumper features a prominent billet silver skid plate along with new front tow hooks and new LED fog lamps. The headlamp bezels are black with standard bifunction projector lights with LED turn signals and daytime running lights. The aluminum twin snorkel hood is unique to the Rebel and almost looks inspired from the Challenger. It adds a lot of aggression and sporty flavor, giving a very distinct look in the lineup. Ride height has been increased by an inch, improving the approach, breakover, and departure angles. Those angles and the Rebel's overall ground clearance varies based on which height setting the air suspension is in. When set to off-road height, which is the tallest setting, and removing the skid plate, the approach, breakover, and departure angles are as much as 25.3, 25.4, and 23 degrees respectively. Maximum ground clearance is 11 inches. With the skid plate, the breakover angle is reduced to 19.6 degrees, and ground clearance drops to 10.3 inches. Across the sides, black wheel arch moldings borrowed from the Power Wagon give it a wide stance to match the larger tires. The side view mirrors and emblems are also satin black. One of my favorite things about the Ram styling in general, though, is the rear bumper. They're the only manufacturer that I'm aware of currently to offer factory dual exhaust with polished tips and flared bumper cutouts. The 2017 Raptor will also have a similar setup. It sounds awesome in person, especially for a factory setup, a nice deep growl. It's also nice for the simple fact that if you do decide to go for an aftermarket exhaust, you already have a great mounting point instead of coming up with a custom solution underneath the truck. The overall design of the bumper looks to be unchanged for the Rebel aside from the durable powder-coated black finish. The somewhat controversial Ram tailgate lettering looks right at home here, blacked out to match the side emblems and accompanied by unique Rebel and 4x4 emblems at the bottom of the tailgate. The upswept, almost spoiler-like look and styling theme of the tailgate also is pretty cool. Complementing the front, the LED tail lamps incorporate black bezels. All in all, the Rebel is available in 5 colors including Granite Crystal Metallic, Bright Silver Metallic, Flame Red, Bright White, and Brilliant Black Metallic like we have here. Two-tone schemes are also available for added contrast. I'm especially fond of the red over black option. The Rebel is only available as a crew cab with a 5'7" bed. It starts out around $43,365, while this example with options and destination is around $49,000. The Rebel features a unique set of 17 by 8-inch one-piece cast aluminum wheels with matte black painted pockets. The 5 split-spoke design looks awesome and really fits the truck's character, pairing up nicely with the Rebel's 33-inch or 285/70 Toyo Open Country all-terrain tires. They've been tested to hold around 0.71 g of lateral acceleration. Brakes consist of 13.2-inch internally ventilated discs up front with 2 piston calipers and 13.8-inch solid discs in the rear with single piston calipers. They're able to bring the truck to a stop from 60 miles an hour in under 140 feet. The Rebel comes standard with a 4-corner air suspension with double wishbones in front and a 5-link solid axle in the rear. Upgraded Bilstein shocks can be found in the front and rear, along with unique tuning, modified front suspension geometry, and recalibrated steering to match the Rebel's increased ride height. The rear stabilizer bar has also been softened, said to improve driving dynamics and ride quality. Despite the larger tires, road noise is kept to a bare minimum. Interior noise levels are surprisingly quiet. There's some wind noise here and there, but no more than you'd expect from a truck. The air suspension was first offered as an option to quad and crew cab models back in 2013. It's controlled primarily from a switch in the bottom of the center stack right next to your trailer brake controller. You can also lower it via the key fob as necessary. The Rebel's 4-mode setup consists of an entry-exit mode, aero mode, normal mode, and an off-road mode. Normal ground clearance is 9.3 inches. Placing it into entry-exit lowers ride height by 3.1 inches over normal, making climbing in and out and loading cargo a cinch for such a large truck. On the flip side, off-road height is about an inch above normal. The Aero mode is pretty cool. It's speed-based and lowers the truck by 0.6 inches from normal ride height, said to improve fuel economy by up to 1%. Having the air suspension provides a number of benefits not only with ride quality but with capability. That being said, the Rebel was one of, if not the best riding trucks I've ever driven. The F-150 is a close second as it doesn't offer air suspension, and the Silverado has the stiffer ride out of the three. The Ram hits the road very smooth and does a great job damping road imperfections. Around town it's very comfortable, even more so on the highway, feeling more like a big SUV than a truck. The other benefit is the air suspension's load leveling capability, which automatically detects loads placed by a trailer or payload. Instead of having the back end lean down a little bit, greater air pressure is then applied to level the truck up to normal ride height, improving the loaded ride quality and overall vehicle handling. Out back, the Ram's 5'7" bed is the same length as an F-150 Super Cruise bed, while the 20-inch box height is about an inch lower than the Ford's. Width between the wheelhouses is 51 inches. Lift-in height is as low as 32.9 inches when the suspension is set to entry-exit mode, making it easy to load in cargo, as much as 50.3 cubic feet worth. The tailgate isn't damped for the Rebel like what we've seen in some higher-spec F-150s and Silverados, but it may be available in upper trim levels. To my knowledge, Ram doesn't offer any fancy assist step systems like the Ford and Chevy, but with the relatively low load height, climbing in really isn't an issue once you get a sure footing. LED bed rail lighting is available for enhanced low light working. Of course, the clever Ram box storage cabinets also remain an option but aren't equipped on this example, adding a lot of practicality with more secured storage. Common to many new trucks is that the tailgate locks and unlocks electronically, allowing easier use of the key fob. The Rebel's payload capacity is 915 pounds, while towing capacity is up to 10,150 pounds. A factory spray-in bed liner is also available. Overall length is 229 inches with a width of 81.5 inches and a height in normal mode of 78.1 inches. Wheelbase is 140.5 inches while curb weight is around 5,800 pounds. 56% of that weight rides over the front. The Rebel is available with two engines, either the 3.6-liter Pentastar V6 or our tester's 5.7-liter Hemi V8. The V8 is constructed using a deep skirt cast iron block with cross-bolted main bearing caps, along with aluminum alloy heads with hemispherical combustion chambers, hence the name Hemi. It features variable cam timing with pushrod operated overhead valves and 2 valves per cylinder. Fuel is delivered via port injection. The compression ratio is set at 10:1, while maximum engine speed peaks at 5,800 RPM. It develops a healthy 395 horsepower at 5,600 RPM and 410 pound-feet of torque at 3,950 RPM. This translates to a 0 to 60 time in the neighborhood of 6.7 seconds, making it quicker than a Silverado crew cab equipped with the 5.3-liter V8 and comparable to a Super Crew F-150 with the 5-liter V8. Ford's optional EcoBoost V6 is a tad quicker than the aforementioned V8s, but Chevrolet's optional 6.2-liter V8 is the quickest setup I've driven in the domestic half-ton range. The Hemi feels strong and sounds fantastic with the factory dual exhaust system. Inside you hear a deep, satisfying growl befitting of a muscle car. The new 8-speed automatic was a big step in refinement when it was introduced a few years ago. The powertrain combination is very smooth and easy to handle. You hardly even notice it changing gears. In fact, Ram's Hemi application actually develops 25 more horsepower and 15 pound-feet of torque more than my Dodge Charger RT. The available all-aluminum V6 develops 305 horsepower and 269 pound-feet of torque. The Hemi-powered Rebels are available in either 2 or 4-wheel drive with either 3.92 or 3.21 gear ratios. However, the V6 is only available in 4-wheel drive with the 3.92 gearing to make better use of the available power and torque when needed. As far as fuel economy, the Hemi is rated between 15 miles to a gallon in the city and 22 on the highway, while the V6 is rated between 17 miles to a gallon in the city and 25 on the highway. Mid-grade fuel is recommended for maximum performance, but it's not required. A 26-gallon tank is standard, while a larger 32-gallon tank is optional. The Ram's interiors remained relatively unchanged since 2013, where it received a comprehensive refresh along with various chassis, suspension, and efficiency upgrades. The updates introduced all of the latest technology seen in the newest Chrysler Group vehicles while improving comfort, overall quality, fit, and finish. Depending on the trim level, Ram offers a variety of interior themes, including colors, features, and appointments. The same goes for the Rebel, which arguably has the coolest looking setup, combining a rugged feel with sporty touches and nice attention to detail. All of your power accessories can be found in the doors, and there's plenty of storage space. As we touched on earlier, the interior features a combination of radar red and black technical grain vinyl seats with Sedoso fabric inserts. The fabric is embossed with the exact tread pattern of the Rebel's Toyo tires. The seats are heated as standard and are accented by light diesel gray stitching. On the sides of the headrest, there's Ram's head embroidery in red with black and gray Rebel logos embroidered on the upper seat bolsters. The materials feel durable and firm without compromising on comfort. Surprisingly, you don't really notice the fabric's pattern against your back, or it's so subtle that you're used to it within the first few minutes. The driver and passenger seats are fully powered with two-way power lumbar in addition to adjustable headrests and seatbelts. As someone who loves rad interiors, the Rebel styling is awesome. The majority of touch points are wrapped in soft touch material, especially across the upper door panels. The more premium stitched elements across the armrest, dash, and logoed embossed center console are accented with two-tone red and gray stitching. The main center stack and console are finished in iron gray metallic paint, which gives off a cast iron appearance. The newer Rams also feature a redesigned center console bin, which incorporates a cellular phone and tablet holder with molded inserts to allow for different sized devices. The other significant differences inside the Rebel include the radar red anodized vent rings, door accent rings, door trim spears, and center console trim ring, similar to upgrades seen in the Jeep Renegade Trailhawk we took a look at over the summer. Finishing everything off is a Rebel nameplate on the upper glove box door. Speaking of, the Ram does have a two-tier glove box with a lot of space up top and down below. Both of the doors are damped, and there's a small storage cubby to the right below the air vent. As you would expect, the Ram has pretty good visibility as there's a lot of glass all the way around. Obviously it's a big vehicle, but if you're used to driving trucks and everything like that, it's no different. There is an available backup camera though to make things a little bit easier if you desire. A manual tilting, heated leather-wrapped steering wheel is standard. To the left-hand side, you have your lighting controls and all of the pattern material on top with the contrast stitching. The Rebel features a unique black headliner with black pillars, and a sunroof is available. So let's go ahead and see how she sounds, both sitting still and on the road. go ahead and shut her up and check out some of the interior features. The standard audio system equipped in our tester is composed of 6 speakers. An upgraded 10-speaker system is available for quad and crew cab models and includes a subwoofer and 12-channel amplifier. To be honest, I thought the bass system was the higher spec. It sounds fantastic for the price. Clean treble and deep low bass, not bad at all for an entry setup. It's all routed through Chrysler's 8.4-inch Uconnect infotainment system. Navigation is an optional feature not shown here. There's standard Sirius XM satellite radio, iPod, auxiliary, USB connectivity, along with hands-free Bluetooth, telephone, and audio streaming. For more information on how to work specific features, check out my recent Charger Hellcat review. Link can be found in the top right-hand corner of the video. There's grip handles up top, side curtain airbags, and padded visors. The driver's side in the Rebel does not have a vanity mirror, but there is one on the passenger side. A manually dimming rearview mirror with roadside assistance and 911 calling. And at the top stack you have your interior illumination, controls to the rear power sliding window, and a hands-free Bluetooth microphone. I love the padded material across the dash, especially with this color accent stitching. Just a nice touch of refinement. Small storage tray up top with the Ram logo. Continuing down the center stack, right beneath the infotainment system, you have some redundant controls to the audio system and climate control. Right beneath the 2 main knobs, which correspond to your volume, browse, tune, scroll, things like that, you also have your climate control with fan speed in the middle, temperature to either side, front and rear defrost, AC, and recycling. For more detailed controls like different zones, you actually have to go through the infotainment system. In the middle here, you can turn the screen off just like you could do it right there, and there's a back button. In the very bottom, you have your trailer brake controller, the air ride setup like I talked about earlier, not to mention your traction control, 2-stage heated seats for the driver and passenger, heated steering wheel, and tow haul mode. To the right, there's a small storage cubby and a 115-volt AC household outlet with a grounded plug. There's a ton of storage across the center console. You have pockets to either side, a tray right there, and a pretty big well in the middle. You have 2 spots right here where you can actually set cell phones if you wanted to plug it into that 12-volt power outlet or just stick the cords through. You stand them up vertically and the cord can pass through those little holes right there, which is pretty cool. You have 2 cup holders off to the right, and in addition to the unique red trim, you have this aggressive looking, like textured silvery trim, which is pretty cool. Towards the very back, you have a large padded center console, again with the contrast stitching, and the embossed Ram logo on top. Grab the chrome handle. The top has a chain storage, a flat storage space right here, 12-volt power outlet, SD, auxiliary, and USB integration. Then if you grab the bottom, you have a big storage well underneath. As far as the steering wheel, on the right-hand side, you have your cruise control as well as your gear change selector like I talked about earlier. Left-hand side, you have the driver information system, hands-free telephone, and voice commands. On the back side is where you have your radio controls, as in typical Chrysler Group fashion. So a lot of the new Chrysler products have this available 7-inch TFT display in the middle of the instrument cluster that you can opt for. Especially for the Ram, it offers a lot of features and functionality, and it's reconfigurable, so you could change the layout of some of the gauges and stuff, and like I said, it's all routed through this arrow pad right here. I really like the instrument cluster in general. It's a nice combination of digital and analog gauges, accented in red, and you have the Rebel logo at the very top. So if you go between the up and down arrows, you can go between like your digital speed readout, vehicle information with various status gauges, fuel economy, trip computers, your trailering, audio, stored messages, and screen setup so you can customize what shows up in the various corners. To the far left, it also shows you which menu you're in. I like how it's kind of separated like that. So that's a quick interior overview of the new 2016 Ram Rebel. We'll go ahead and shut her down. And check out the back seat. Like the Silverado Crew Cab and F-150 Super Crew, Ram's Crew Cab offers a lot of backseat space. I mean, these trucks in general, especially in recent time, have gotten so huge. which is a great thing for added practicality, especially if you have a larger family or are going to be carrying a lot of people in the back seat, because at the end of the day, especially trims like this, a little bit more on the loaded side and even more higher spec luxury trims, they're more like multi-purpose vehicles, combining the practicality of a truck with the comfort and convenience of a typical SUV or luxury sedan. So it's really nice to have all the extra space, just in general. I think the F-150 has the most leg space out of the three, but as far as usable space, I mean, they're all very comparable between each other and highly worth checking out in person to see which one suits your needs the best. But before we hop on in, talk about backseat space, amenities, comfort, and all that good stuff, I want to show you this reconfigurable seat design right here, which is pretty cool and adds a little bit of extra practicality. So you can raise this bottom cushion by just putting a little bit of pressure and lifting it up. It locks in place. There's no handles unlocking or anything like that that you have to grab. Same thing with bringing it down, just a little bit of pressure is all you need. There's this tray right here that you can lift up, and there's some hidden storage underneath. So if you wanted to put a flashlight, smaller items, safety kit, or anything like that, you don't have to worry about them sliding throughout the interior or anything like that. They stay nice and secured in there. But what you can do here is lift this up, pull on these two straps. It brings out a set of legs basically, and you can create a flat loading space for groceries or something like that. I really like that a lot. It definitely adds to the practicality. Like I said earlier, this Ram features a 4-mode adjustable air ride suspension. Right now we have it set in normal mode. Obviously the Rebel has a taller ride height than a typical Ram. So to make things a lot easier, you can put it in that low setting. It definitely decreases the amount you have to step on in. With the normal mode, you definitely want to grab the grip handle. It's not hard at all. It's just a bit of a step up height. And just like the front, the back seat has awesome build quality for this class. You still have the soft touch material on the upper portion right here, across the mid, as well as the armrest. Everything that makes the Rebel's interior unique up front, you also have back here with the two-tone black and red, the tread pattern across the middle, the diesel gray stitching. It looks really nice. As far as interior space, I'm 5'10", with the comfortable seating position for myself in front. I easily have maybe 5-6 inches of leg space. Headspace, depending on where you place it, there's actually a cutout in the headliner right here that allows a lot more wiggle room than the middle section. I would say at least 3.5, maybe even 4 inches. So if you're 6 feet and even over 6 feet, you're still going to be very comfortable back here. The middle row seat also has pretty decent space. There's a little bit of a drivetrain hump right here, so your legs are going to ride taller, but it's a very commanding position. You can see all the way around the vehicle. You're not going to fight for shoulder space or anything like that because it is a wide vehicle, so you can sit 3 full-size adults back here still very comfortably. There's 2 cup holders down below there. There's 2 additional ones within the padded armrest. Locks in place, nice and comfy. And at the very bottom, you have a 12-volt power outlet and 2 air vents. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the 2016 Ram Rebel. Well everyone, I hope you enjoyed the in-depth look at the 2016 Ram Rebel. Be sure to stay tuned next time, there's a lot more where that came from. Take care guys.